Guys, okay, so I have a bunch of questions I'm going to answer, so here goes. Tell us a bit about yourself, your thoughts on beauty, and how it is portrayed in society. So my name is Kechi. I am a 30-year-old Nigerian woman, born and raised in Nigeria until I was 16 years old when I was in a plane crash. I identify as many things. I am a plane crash survivor. I am a burn survivor advocate. I am a motivational speaker. I am a singer. I hopefully soon will be a published author, and I am a bullying prevention activist. How do I define beauty? Beauty is that light that shines from within a vessel, no matter what the vessel looks like. So, we live in a world that will constantly try to define beauty by our physical appearance. But that world standard of beauty is always changing. Today is slim, thick. Yesterday was, skinny. Tomorrow, who knows what it's going to be. So I feel like it's extremely dangerous to identify or define beauty by the world standards, the world's ever-changing standards. That's why we have to define beauty for ourselves as individuals as well. Despite living in a world that will constantly try to define it for us, you have to decide what beauty means to you. Let's see. Okay, so next question. What is the name of your beauty mark? So I got these scars from an accident I was in 2005. I was in a plane crash that took the lives of 107 of 109 people on board. And I sustained third-degree burns over 65% of my body. So these are, scars from that injury, and then a lot of skin grafts and lots of keloids, hypertrophic scars. But I like to think of my scars as battle wounds. They represent victory that God had over a battle that I fought. I feel like they are my badge of honor, from a battle that God won. So that's how I identify. That's how I see my scars. That's how I see my beauty marks. Let's see. Tell us more about the name of your beauty mark. What happened to me was something that very few survive. I lost a lot of friends in that accident. There were 61 of us from my school, aside from the other passengers, and all those 60 kids passed away, and I was the only one who survived from my school. And then I was one of 2 survivors, just total, in the entire accident. So I understand that my life is a miracle. I understand that somehow, God permitted me to survive the almost impossible. And so that's the reason why I cannot do anything but live my life the way I'm living them, with pride and confidence, because my life is not only mine. My life is also for those who passed away, and for those loved ones that were left behind by those who passed away. So, I owe it to them, of all people, to live as proudly, as confidently, as self-assuredly as possible, because I want them to see that this life that was saved was not saved in vain. So that's why I will never hide my scars. I will never hide my beauty marks. I will always live with that confidence, because I want them who are watching me to also be proud. So that's how I see my beauty marks. Tell us more about the name of your beauty mark. Oh, I just answered that. Sorry. Okay, so let's see. Do you have any self-motivating, interesting stories about your beauty marks? My scars do not define me. They are a big part of my identity, but they are not everything about me. This is a motto that I first came up with in South Africa, which is where I was first treated before I was flown to America. So this was about 4 months into my treatment in South Africa, and I asked my mom for a mirror so I could see how I looked. And I remember that first time I looked at myself. This was the first time since the accident, and I saw my reflection, and I was like a mess, very disfigured, no skin on my face. Everything was just different, but as I kept looking, I just could still somehow the reflection, I don't know, something was still very familiar in that reflection. Even though it didn't look anything like I remembered looking, I still somehow could see Kechi in there. And that was when it hit me that if I could still see any kind of element of myself in a reflection that didn't look anything like me, then that had to mean that whatever made me my essence, whatever made me who I am, had to go beyond the physical. It had to go beyond my physical appearance. And realizing that was like a life changer, because that meant that my scars did not have to define me. They did not have to be everything about who I was. They could just be part of it. They could be part of my story. And that meant I didn't have to change how I dressed, how I hung out with people, where I went, what I did. I could just live my life and not worry about, not allow my scars to dictate my life, basically. So that was when I came up with that my scars do not define me. And I have lived my life by that motto ever since that day in South Africa. So I guess that's just another interesting story about my beauty marks. Just living my life in that way has helped me see my scars as badges of honor. The more I live my life confidently, the more I am sure that I am not supposed to hide. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, last question. If you could say one thing to encourage a young girl struggling to accept her beauty marks, especially with the same beauty marks as yours, what would you say? Let's see. I would say this. Oftentimes, the things that make us different are the things that the world tries to make us feel bad about. The things that make us stand out. And that's just the way the world is. We encounter nasty people who say nasty things about the things that they feel we should feel bad about, the things that maybe make us feel most vulnerable. But I think that those differences are what makes us unique, and oftentimes are where our strengths lie. Like, those things that make us different, that make us stand out, can be the same things that give our lives purpose, that we find purpose in. So me, for example, I have these scars, right? And of course I've encountered people who say nasty things about how I look, and I encounter people who just are plain nasty, bullies, whether it's online or in person. But I've embraced these as badges of honor. I've embraced these as part of who I am. So you can't make me feel bad about this, because it's part of who I am. And when I say I've embraced it, I mean that I love that part of myself. But I love me, and I love me, including my beauty marks. So to me, they are not something to be ashamed of. But with the help of people around me and a great support system, I've been able to use these scars as a platform to reach other people who might have gone through some kind of trauma, that I want to show them that, there's life after that trauma. There's so much life to live, not just to survive, but to thrive, So I have had the privilege of turning what happened to me into a platform to reach and encourage other people. So, this thing that I was that people thought I should feel bad about became part of my life's work. So that's what I mean when I say that what makes you unique can make you have purpose. I feel like if you look within yourself and you love every part of you, including that thing that makes you feel most vulnerable, that thing that people like to attack, if you look within yourself and understand how to embrace even that part of you, you will find a strength inside you that you did not know you had. And you can use that strength for good and help other people that are like you to feel that same strength too. So that's really the best advice I can give. I think the best way I can advise people is through my own experience and my own life, because I know that this is something that actually works because I've lived it. And so I encourage you to embrace yourself for who you are, scars and beauty marks and all, and you will surprise yourself with how much strength you have. Okay? And just live your life with pride and with confidence, and real recognizes real. The right people will flock to you because of that. Just be authentic. All right, so I think that was all I had to say. Yeah, those are all my questions. I hope this helps somebody. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I hope this wasn't too long. Okay, bye.
That I almost gave up, searching for the one who didn't love me at all. That